Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bad Nurse Files. This is the first episode of bird flu. We're going to go over bird flu's history, what it is, and why this virus is special. So, bird flu episode one, the quiet pandemic, what bird flu really is. So, what is bird flu? Bird flu is a zoonotic virus, meaning that it can be transferred between humans and people. We usually see this virus being transmitted between birds and other animals. It really jumps to people, but we have seen that in history that we're going to go over now. So, we have two types. We have high pathogenic, meaning that it's very transmissible and very fatal, and low pathogenic, meaning that it's not as transmissible and it's not as fatal. This virus spreads through bird droppings or feces, contaminated surfaces, contaminated water or food, raw foods, raw milk, direct contact with sick birds. And now, in 2025, they have said that houseflies can carry and harbor the bird flu. That's another video we're going to go over, but that was something interesting. So let's go into the history of bird flu. So we first see bird flu in 1878 in Italy. They call it the foul plague. So they didn't know what it was. They thought it was cholera at first, but then they did some more research and they found out that it was a influenza or like a flu type virus. There is no mention of human deaths in this plague. It was mainly poultry that were affected. After this outbreak, we do have reports between 1877 and 1958 of a lot of poultry outbreaks and just poultry dying, but no human cases have been reported in this time. So let's jump to 1997, where we have the first human bird flu case. But let me backtrack for a minute. In 1955, it was established that this virus was an influenza A subtype. This is why I was freaking out in December when the CDC mentioned or recommended to subtype influenza A patients, but only those critically, like in critical care, or those that said that they were on poultry. So outpatient people that tested positive for influenza A, they never got subtyped, and 75% of reported influenzas were influenza A last respiratory season. Not to mention, this was the highest pediatric deaths since post pandemic numbers. So, this respiratory season was very, very rough. A lot of people passed, a lot of children passed, a lot of brain inflammation was seen, but we didn't subtype. So, we'll never know if people really had bird flu or not. So let's go back here. So we see in 1997, we see the first human case of bird flu. It happened in Hong Kong. It was a 3-year-old boy, and he contracted the flu directly from birds. So this marks the first transmission from bird to human. And the boy did pass. The outbreak resulted in 18 people affected and 6 deaths. The outbreak was contained. They culled 1.5 million chickens at that time. So we see bird flu again in 2002. So from 2002 to 2004, we have a huge global outbreak everywhere. So we see the H7N2 which is a low pathogenic strain in Virginia. Poultry were affected. They culled 4.7 million birds. There was only one confirmed farm worker. A Hong Kong sound outbreak again in 2002 as well, and they experienced a high pathogenic strain. But this outbreak included wild birds and other avians like ducks. So this started raising concern in the science field and in the like USDA realm. But in April 2002, the first vaccine is introduced, and it's a killed form of H5. What is a killed virus in a vaccine is that this is a virus that contains a pathogen that has been killed or has been deactivated. So it cannot infect you, but the immune system does recognize its proteins. So it does create an immunity for that. So now we jump to 2003. We have two more cases of human bird flu reported, one of them being fatal. Netherlands also saw bird flu in this time, and they reported 453 people experiencing flu like symptoms. They didn't report any deaths. Multiple countries in Asia, Vietnam, 18 were affected and 13 died. Thailand had 5 cases and all of them died. Canada also saw bird flu in 2004. It started as low pathogenic and it developed into a high pathogenic, meaning that the strains mutated as it infected. 19 million birds were culled and 2 human cases were reported. 2005, we're still seeing bird flu. It was still being detected in Asia, resulting in 135 confirmed global human cases and 69 deaths. After this fiasco of bird flu, PubMed, which is a medical journal that publishes studies and articles from medical fields. In 2006, an article came out regarding H5N1's potential of becoming a global pandemic. So now we start producing the first vaccine approved for humans was April 2007. That was pretty fast. 2013 and again in 2020, which it is FDA approved. And now we don't hear anything from anybody from 2005 until now in 2022, where we had the first human case in Colorado and we see poultry and flocks affected. 2023, more poultry outbreaks, more wild flocks are detected with H5N1. And end of 2023, the USDA declares the largest and longest outbreak of H5N1. And then 2024, we have the first detected H5N1 in cattle, and several states start declaring emergency because all their cattle are being affected. In 2025, we're here. So last year, in 2024, we also had the first cattle to human case, which was never seen as well. We have many flocks that are affected, many mammals were affected. I believe 97% of seals of their pups passed. So a third of their colony came back, I think, a few months ago when like they migrated. So they're gonna take a while to like repopulate. Cats are affected. Cats are highly susceptible to this. There are a bunch of cat sanctuaries that many big cats have died. House cats have also passed. So the veterinarians, I know that they're sounding the alarm on this. The most common symptoms for felines, it is neurological. So seizures, walking weird, eyes looking funny. So there's that. So that's the history of bird flu. Bird flu's been around for a long time. So, we've had time to prepare. But as always, we are proactive, not sorry, we are reactive, not proactive. So hope you guys join me for the next episode. We'll speak more on bird flu. And as I always say, follow to stay in the know.